Hi and welcome, and in this video I just wanted to quickly show you some of the graphical capabilities you can achieve using EasyFs financial statements. Now here what I've done is I've created a demonstration company and this is some of the financial analytics which I have done so that I can analyze a company's financial performance quickly in a graphical format. Now on the left hand side here you can see the different types of graphs which I have prepared, including some data like the financial statements and the balance sheet of financial performance. So you can navigate using this, and I've shown that in my training videos how you would set this all up on Word, that is. Now so if I quickly go to the financial information, so here you can see it's the statement of profit and loss account and other comprehensive income. So I've graphed that up so that I can see the trend when it comes to the profitability of the entity. Now this entity, or the demonstration entity which I'm using, is actually currently making losses. Then from there I've had a quick look at the balance sheet, and this is the balance sheet information, and using this what I've done is I've created some graphical presentations. Now so this is, for example, the revenue. I'm looking at how the revenue is being spent, and as you can see they are spending over 100% of whatever they are earning, incurring significant losses. So this quickly gives you a presentation of what the money earned is being spent on. I've done this excluding the tax, as it's making losses, so there will not be tax payable because there's no tax implications as they're making losses at the moment, and they are making tax losses. Now the graph also shows you the different types of expenditure. Now as you can see I have categorized it into just broad categories because I just want to get an overview in this circumstance, and in all my graphs I just want to get an initial impression of how a company is performing. So I've also looked at revenue and seeing how their revenue is changing. Balance sheet, I've had a look at that, and I've further analyzed the balance sheet in terms of assets, the liabilities, and also I've had a look at the employee cost, what makes up the employee cost. So as you can see, these are just examples of some of the graphs you can prepare using the software, and these graphs can be included into your financial statements so that it adds a bit more meaning and a bit more understanding. It also makes it the presentation of your financial data much more readable and more understandable to the users. It also helps you to explain your financial statements in a more simplistic manner that can be seen graphically and easily understood, rather than having to speak a lot about figures, as some of your primary users may not be that financially savvy. A graph might be able to present the information much more quickly and in a more understandable manner. So that's all I wanted to show you with this particular video, is the types of graphs that you can prepare. I'll just quickly get into the software itself and show you how some of them I have gone about setting them up. So here is the basic data about the profit and loss and other comprehensive income. I've covered a lot of this in my training videos. I'll just get into some of the graphs. So here, financial performance, I've just used this data to get that information. Let me get into one of the say expenses. As you can see, all of these fields here are hidden. You don't need to worry too much about the formatting here because it's going into a graph. Now, as you can see, I've just excluded the income tax here by hiding it here. If you want to show your income tax spend as well, you can show that as well. And this column here, what I've done is I've used the figures so that as I've set it, the visibility to data, only if there is data here, it will show that information on your graph. So for example, you wouldn't have seen operating expenses or other expenses on the graph because I have excluded that using the EasyFs financial software, so that automatically takes care of that. And here is where I've used some percentages. As you can see, I've used a percentage functionality within the software to do that. So this is how you would set it up. Now when you first export it out from here in order to get it onto your Word document, it exports it I'll just do it now so I can have a quick look. So when it exports it exports a standard bar chart. Okay. And this is the data that has been exported out. So what you can do here is once it's exported, you can format this graph to the type of graph that you want. So I think from recollection, this was for this one I use which graph chart. I'm just trying to identify which chart I had used. There's a whole selection of charts. Let's just do here's just chart type. I had used I think it's an area, and I have used this 3D presentation. Yeah, so that's what I had used. Let me just change it to that and just expand it a bit more. Yeah, so that's what the chart looked like, and I had changed how this looked or appeared, and I changed the data around. So I'll just show you how you swap the data around. I wanted the years to show at the bottom, so here is where you call it up and then you say swap the columns and the rows, and then you say okay, so you get the data at the bottom and you get this on the side. But in order to make it look a little better, what I did was did I close it? Maybe I did. No, it's here. So what I did was here I came and put the legends, I put it at the bottom. Yeah, and so it looks that way. And what I did was I took the legends off. I said no legends, but then I put the data at the bottom because I wanted to see the data labels, the data table at the bottom. Yeah, so that's what I did, so that you could see that graph. Now you can copy this and paste it onto your document, and you have your graph. I just wanted to quickly show you how you go about this. I've also covered this in some training videos, but I thought it was important because the graphical presentation has proved to be quite useful in my line of work, as I can analyze a financial statement, the company's performance quickly, and decide on the type of work that I need to perform